Morning, everybody. Welcome to Meditation and Spiritual Practice. Um, what's very interesting, what a lot of people who don't grow up in an Orthodox world are aware of, is that the first book of the Torah that young people from when you start to really learn Torah is not what you would expect. It's not Genesis at the beginning, it's not the popular story of Passover with the Exodus, but instead it's the book of Leviticus, Sefer Vayikra, actually, at which some of us can look at and see this is the most boring book of the Torah in that it's about all of the details of animal sacrifices and laws and all of those things. And part of there's a number of reasons why this becomes the primary book um, that's first shared. But mostly, there's a way that in rabbinic tradition, Sefer Vayikra, or the book of Leviticus, is really meant to, it's the pinnacle of the Torah. You know, if we look at the Torah like a bell curve starting in Genesis and coming up like this, we hit the peak at Sefer Vayikra and then kind of head down through the journey, the book of Numbers, Bamidbar in the wilderness, to finally Moses's speech at the end in Deuteronomy, which is kind of the summary of it all. But this idea of it being the summit is because what it really the whole book is about is how to serve God, right? How to serve God in a very specific, straightforward way. Now, rabbis have throughout time been able to translate and interpret midrashically any part of the Torah to be about how to serve God, right? Especially in the early Hasidic masters that we spend a lot of time with here, um, everything is an opportunity to serve God, and really that's really kind of the whole point of life. It's not something that is delegated to a sanctuary or a mishkan or a synagogue, but instead in our actions with each other, in out in the world, in our own inner quiet spaces, are all opportunities to awaken to the presence that fills creation and be able to act in ways that are in service of that presence and of connection. So, in some sense, it's all about serving God from that perspective. But in the Torah itself, in the very simple meaning, the role of the Kohanim, the priests, and the animal sacrifices, and all of the laws that go into even laws between people, all of those things are very, very clearly how to serve God in the time of the Torah, in the time of the Mishkan. And so, in a sense, one could say that everything that happened before, all the way up to here, was only for this apex, was only for this purpose, so the priest could serve. And I want to read to you a beautiful way that Rabbi Menachem Nachum of Chernobyl, one of my favorites, the Me'orei Naim, who wrote Light of the Eyes, how he has to what he has to say about this. And specifically, he says, after the whole Exodus, after walking in the desert, but with God being the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night, God gives us the Torah, commands us to erect the Mishkan, right? The Mishkan specifically is make me a sanctuary so I can dwell within them, right? I can dwell within them. Not that I can dwell within it, but I can dwell within them, which is the sense that serving God in all of the ways that we do, whether it's in this place of the sanctuary here in the Torah, or whether it is in our lives, in our work, in everything that we do, the whole purpose is so that presence can dwell within us, that it's through that service that happens. And what the Me'orei Naim says is he says, this is like a person who has always dwelt in a place of darkness, never having light. If you brought him right out into the daylight, he would not be able to stand the brightness. Ah. right? You have to expose it to him gradually. First, you make a narrow opening, and then you can just see a bit of light. Then you broaden it until it becomes a window. Only then can you take him out into the open air to show him the light. So it was with Israel. In Egypt, they were immersed in the 50 measures of defilement, right? They were slaves. They had no awareness of God. They thought that Pharaoh was the ruler and the king. They weren't able to use their voice. They were just deep, deep, deep defilement. But had God shown them the brilliance of his presence immediately, they would not have been able to bear it. Right? And they would not have been able to bear it. They needed all these steps along the way. But the whole purpose was let, let them make me a sanctuary that I might dwell within. Right? So this is a very powerful thought. And there's two kind of ideas that I want us to be able to take into our meditation this morning. The first idea is that awakening and awareness happens gradually, right? Happens gradually. We may look at our lives, look at the way that we relate to the world, look at the patterns that we do, look at the things that keep repeating over and over again that we want to change. And when we look at the reality of it compared to where we want to be, or our vision for ourselves, or how we could be of service to God in all the myriad ways of our lives, we can sometimes feel discouraged because we're not at that image in our mind yet. We're not there. And yet part of what this teaching is saying is that awakening happens gradually. It's step by step, and we know this even on a physical sense when we're working out, when we have maybe some physical goals, whether we're recovering from surgery and having to do physical therapy. It takes time, gradually, step by step. And so one of the most difficult things in recovering from a surgery is patience. Is patience to say, I'm not back where I want to be right away. How do I take it step by step? And that's also what the teaching is here. So part of having the awareness that awakening is a gradual process also allows us to fully inhabit the moment that we're at and the step that we're at, without some kind of idea that we're not here, which is the way the mind will play, but instead just, this is where I am. How do I open from where I am now? Maybe it's just a little bit of light that's coming through, and maybe the more that it happens, it gradually expands to a window. But here's the thing. When it expands to a window, we're not aware necessarily that it's a window. It's just the amount of light that's present because it's been gradually opening. We may not even remember how it was 3 months ago or 5 months ago, or when we started meditating a year ago, where our heads were at that time. Where we're at is just normal. So that gradual awakening process, the first point. The second point is in line with this, which is that everything that happened in the Israelites, the leaving of Egypt, the wandering in the wilderness, the revelation of Torah at Sinai, the commandment to build the Mishkan, the building of the Mishkan, all of that was necessary in order for this book of Leviticus to take place, this opportunity for the priests to serve God in this very specific way. And that is something we don't always realize, is that all of the steps in our lives have brought us right to this moment. We can look at things and regret. I actually had a conversation with my wife Ilana this weekend. We were driving down to San Diego, and the song came on my playlist, I don't know if anybody's heard it. It's a Crosby, Stills and Nash song. It's called "Wasted on the Way." And it's a song about being older and looking back at your life and looking and saying, all this time I wasted on the way, um, because and now let me live. Let me live my life. And I was younger then. I didn't really realize what I was doing. We kind of turned to each other and we said, do we feel that about our lives? Was every step, was there anything that we did that was a waste? Was it a wasted time? That if we could have gone back and done a do-over, what would have been doing differently? And really in thinking about everything, I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't be serving God in the way that I am if I hadn't done every single thing that happened along those things. Even the things that brought pain and heartache, and even the things that, might have not set up in a financial situation I might have wanted, or any of those things. I could have made a lot of other choices, but I would not be who I am. I would not have the family that I have. I would not have the relationships. All of those things would not be there. And, that's another piece of trusting the process, that some of us may look back and say, no, I really think I wasted time. I wasted time. I was really unhappy. But an interesting question is, would you be sitting in this meditation group today with what's in your heart today if you had done it differently? And that's just that. I think that the Maori Nimes teaching is no, every step was necessary to be right here. And so part of that awareness, like the gradual awakening teaching, is really about embodying this moment, trusting the process, and opening up. So let's find a comfortable place that we can sit for a period of time. And we'll begin with a melody with a nigun. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 la, ya la la ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ai ai ai. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ai ai ai. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya dai dai. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 lai lai. Ya la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai 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 lai. So settle into your body, sitting in the chair. Feel the pressure of your bottom on the chair, the contact between the bottom of your feet and the ground, the length of your legs from your ankles all the way up to your hips. Notice the distance of your spine from your hips all the way up to your neck and then also to the top of your head. Noticing the space between your ears, the way your arms hang out of your shoulder sockets, and the resting place of your hands. At the same time that you're aware of your body and space, also notice the movement of breath as it enters through the nostrils or the mouth. Notice all the sensations that accompany the breath. Sensations in the nostrils or in the mouth. The expanding of the torso or the belly as the inhale comes in and the sensations that go along with that. Notice that moment where the inhale reaches its maximum length and switches over to an exhale. Paying attention to the air as it leaves through the mouth or through the nostrils. And the body's gentle contraction. Noticing that moment where the exhale switches to an inhale and the cycle begins again. Rooting your awareness in this present moment with breath and body. Making the decision to be here now in this space. Making the decision to embrace all parts of our moment-to-moment experience. To settle into the reality that we are exactly where we're supposed to be. That every moment in our life has unfolded to bring us right here, right now. This is our moment. As you feel the strength of your choice to be here in this moment with breath and body, your choice to pay attention to what is here. Feel that sense of rootedness in your seat. To breathe into the belly, noticing the center of your belly as grounding you in this space here and now. As you pay attention to breath and body, bring your awareness to your heart area. And let your breath Move in and out of the heart area. Breathing in the experience of being loved, breathing out that love. Feel an openness in your heart, a desire to serve, to give, to honor the connection that you're a part of. Feel it in your heart area. Let your heart be open to this moment, not only being present with what is here, but embracing it, saying, yes, this is what I was brought here for this moment. Let me give my heart to this moment. Keeping that awareness of groundedness in the belly and open-hearted service in the heart. Let your attention go to the space on your forehead, kind of between your eyes and right above a little bit, that third eye area. And breathe in and out of that space. Breathing in and out clarity, clarity of awareness, of presence. Almost like you're breathing in and out the most non-jittery caffeine that allows you to notice breath and body and sound and everything that's going on in this moment. With clarity, with focus. You've got that clarity and focus and concentration on what is here and now in breath and body and all the sensory experience. Rooted in your forehead, you've got in your heart area, open to this moment, loving this moment, being of service to this moment. And then even rooted lower in your belly, the choice to be here, to take this seat, to be grounded here in this moment. And as you pay attention to this moment, allow in the awareness of the aliveness, of the vibrancy, of the divine dimension of all of creation in this moment. The aliveness present in breath, in body sensation, in sound, the presence that infuses every aspect of our experience. Keeping in mind that whatever amount of awareness of this energy and presence we have now, whatever amount of light that we are receiving, it's just a small peak. There's so much more that we can open to. So can we be in this moment in a way that welcomes and receives what is, what we experience, at the same time being open to receive more. I'm going to be quiet for a period of time, and that just becomes our practice. If you'd like, if you find yourself drifting, you need to come back. The practice, ground in your belly, choosing to be here, open your heart to the moment, to letting this be sacred service, sacred loving service. Through your forehead, open to focus and clarity and awareness of the divine symphony of everything in our field of awareness, being able to be present. And then that understanding that the presence only reveals itself the amount that it does in this moment. And we can receive it and be open to more.
Ai, ai, ai. La 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 ai. Ya na nai 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 nai. Ya la 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 lai. Ya la 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 lai lai lai. Ya la 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 lai lai lai. Ya la 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 lai lai lai. Ya la 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 lai lai lai. Ya la 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 la.